do them just the way you want. Hey guys, how's it going? So a couple of things today. First off, we just prepped the circle in our brick patio area, got it ready for planting, and we are going to be heading down to the garden center as well. Monrovia just sent out some plants. I don't even know what's on the load, but we're going to go pick them up and take a look at what they sent. To prep the circle, we brought in a bit of fill dirt. That is just dirt that we dug out of other areas of our garden. We have it sitting in a pile, so we just wanted to raise that level a little bit. And then before they laid all the bricks, there is an irrigation box over there. They brought over a zone that's just going to be specific to this bed. So this is where Aaron put a PVC elbow on that. And then it goes, there's an adapter right here that's from 3/4 inch pipe thread to 1/2 inch drip tube access. So he just used some of that like white tape. I don't even know what it's called, but you put it on the threads. It helps adhere everything better, get a tighter seal. Sorry, Russell, you got to move, dude. And then we put the 1/2 inch drip tube right there and attached it with a clamp. And then this is such a small area, we just did a loop all the way to the center and ended it. Now this right here is electrical access. Because we do intend on putting water here. We want to have some kind of a fountain, but I don't have anything ordered. I don't even have anything picked out, but here are my thoughts at the moment. One, I think I should wait on it because I'm not exactly sure what look I want here. But at this point in time, I think I do want something shorter, because I don't want a multi-tiered, although it would be pretty to have a multi-tiered here, and maybe that's what we end up going with. But I feel like, Douglas, you stay away from my legs. This boy right here, he wants to be tame, but he's also kind of wild. He'll come and rub all over your legs, and then he just, boom, flips a switch and like attacks your legs. It always makes me a little bit nervous. Anyway, I think I want something lower so that it doesn't block the view of the Hartley there. I think looking over the top of water, I still want a big basin, if that makes sense. So we've got a nice big pool, but whatever we have in the center, I want it to be a little bit shorter. I want to be able to see that beautiful structure. Here comes Aaron. He attached the trailer so we could go get those plants. Anyway, I hope that makes sense. So if we did something multi-tier, I would, one, have to trim some of these branches, and it would probably be right up here in terms of view from this angle here. So you would see the fountain here instead of seeing the greenhouse, which I want to see that greenhouse all the time from all the angles. So if we keep something a little bit lower here, like from this vantage point here, having a little water bubbling would be nice, but still being able to see all the peaks would also be great. All ready to go for our load. Do you know how many plants are on it?
Oh, I have no idea.
I don't either.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a surprise. Yeah. Okay, let me show you some of the plants that I've got here. They're really pretty. We've got several coleus. There's the Wicked Witch, so gorgeous. There's Lime Time, which I think the chartreuse brings a cooling element. I kind of want to lean heavy on that. We've got some Pegasus begonias. I have 6 left over from the college project. I've got some double up white begonias. We've got Coconut Nemesia, which is an improved version. This is coming out next year, 2024. Surefire rose begonias, I don't know if I want to use these or not. We'll see how it goes. I might want to keep it a little bit more on the muted, more subtle palette with just white blooms. I'm not sure. And up here we've got some Golden Dreams coleus and more of the Nemesia. And I did just plant the bed underneath the golden rain tree here. So as you look this way, I planted some Helichrysum. It got totally wind blown. We had a bunch of wind yesterday. Did this break? Oh, I hope not. Anyway, my goal for this one is for it to kind of cascade over these stones, which these are going to be replaced. We're going to be doing similar rock walls to what we have over there, but we're going to do that this fall. So I just wanted to have something in here that was pretty. I have some Surefire white begonias and those Helichrysum, and then there were and are some hostas that I planted in here earlier. which I'm gonna have to dig some of these up in order to accommodate our boxwood hedge, which we're not quite ready to do that because we're waiting on the gate. We are putting a little gate right here that's gonna match the black gate that leads into our fireplace, which I would show you if we had it, but we had to take it down to the place so that they could know what to copy. So the flower bed will come out right here, and there'll be a couple of flagstones and then that little gate access. While this one's our main one, we wanted like a quick, you know, to the patio access instead of having to go around, if you should want to. I don't know. I think the more access points you have to an area, the more practical it becomes, the easier it is to navigate and use, and the more you'll use it. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong there, but I do like having multiple ways to enter and exit. But I'm gonna have to move these. So probably, I'm guessing at least this whole line right here. I might be able to leave this, but I'll have to move this one, this line. We're gonna do a very shallow wall. We might even have like a little concrete wall poured behind where the boxwoods are gonna be planted. And I'll need to remove these and then these plants right here, because our boxwoods will swing around this way, like so. And it's likely we'll be able to move most of them just right back up in here. That's why I didn't plant any begonias in here. I thought, well, I could just tuck all of these hostas just right up in this area and that would look nice. You want so much to be a nice boy, don't you? Yeah, just purring, likes the pets. And he always looks pretty. Like, he very seldom looks like, oh, see that? He wanted to swipe at me. Douglas, you got to get your act together. I think what we're going to do first is we're going to head down to the garden center and get the load of plants. Then we'll take a look at what they sent. While we're down there, I'm going to look for something. I don't know if I want to have necessarily a centerpiece plant. I don't have anything on hand that would work for a centerpiece here. It's an interesting area because right now you can see we're in the morning time, like early-ish morning. It's in full sun right now. And then as the day progresses, of course, you know, we're under a tree here. The back side of this, or the side closest to me, gets to be in pretty full shade. And it's like that for most of the day, while the other side stays in the sun for quite a long time. So if you want something that matches, it's got to be something like the Color Blaze Coleus and the Surefire begonias that can handle both sun and shade and kind of perform the same. We always kind of struggled with our raised bed that we had in here because we had much a similar layout to what it is now, in that we had a circular raised bed in the center and bricks around it. It was shaped a little bit differently, but we never, I don't know, it took us a few years to figure out that we can't plant full sun things all the way around it because they're not going to work. We also can't plant full shade things all the way around it. It's got to be somewhere in between. Anyway, let's head down to the garden center. I have a feeling these are the plants right here. Oh, look at the climbing roses, Aaron. Oh, wow. They're already on trellises. Wow. That's fun. Oh, awesome. All right, we're just gonna get this stuff loaded up and then we'll spread it out once we get home and I will show you what we've got here. They had a surprising amount of plants packed onto that pallet. I felt like they just kept coming. And there's a whole bunch of them sitting here now, and I want to walk you through what we have. We will probably go into further detail about each of these varieties as we plant them out in our garden. I really want to focus on getting our little circular area planted, but I did find, while we were at the garden center, I found 3 king tut grasses. I think these will be perfect to add some height to our circle area so that it's not all low, They need to be groomed up a little bit, but I think that will add that vertical interest that we need. Here are all the plants. Isn't that incredible? Oh, there are so many, a lot of roses. So this right here, this is in my color wheel. I love this. This is the Itsy Bitsy Peach miniature rose. Now it's itsy bitsy. What does that mean? That means it stays small, right? Or does that mean the blooms are just small? No, 18 inches tall by 2 feet wide. Oh, that's awesome. Then we've got, there's a couple in this series. So this is the magenta in this series. I'm glad even though these blooms are sort of aged that we can kind of see what color they are. And in that same series we have the bubbly, which is a peach creamy, beautiful, looks like a David Austin, and it grows 4 by 4. No blooms on this one yet, but I'm excited about that color. I thought I saw one more in that same series. Yes, blush. So just a softer pink. You can see a bud here. They just got done blooming, their first flush anyway. And then right here, this is a rugosa. It's a seaside swirl, pink rugosa. It stays 3 by 3, which typically rugosas are a little bit more wild growing than this. I love the open face blooms here and that delicate pink. You can see the buds are a deeper pink and then they open up to this softer, real peaceful color. I'm excited to get those out in the garden. In that same series, this is a Seaside Swirl Blush. So a little bit of a deeper color, still that open face bloom. Those buds are so pretty. And then there's a brand new type of campanula. It's called Arctic Falls. And you guys know I love campanula, especially like the type that grows like this. This one grows about 1 foot tall, 2 feet wide. I just planted some birch hybrid campanula up near our kitchen. And this is about ready to be cut back at this point. You can see, you know, a lot of the blooms are aged, and it's the same with mine in the landscape at the moment, but you can still see the beautiful color. They flush out and just get so full of these beautiful purple flowers. They usually do it a couple of times a season, and then you get some really good fall color out of them. There are some sunflowers here. There is Sunbelievable, Golden Girl, and then there's another one called Brown Eyed Girl, I think. Looks kind of like the Suncredible Saturn. There's the big ones over here. These are in like 3-gallon cans or 2-gallon cans. What is this one? The Brown Eyed Girl. Yeah. Then there's some 9 barks. This is called Dark Star. Isn't that color incredible? Grows about 5 feet tall, 4 feet wide. More sunflowers. There's a Weigela called Cocoa Chill with the bright pink blooms and the darker chocolate colored leaves. And then I think this is a brand new climber called Heavenly Ascent Pink. How tall? 8 foot. 8 foot tall. I don't see them grown trained on trellises like this to start very often, so that's really exciting. I think we looked at all the different varieties. I'm really excited to get these planted out in the garden. But for now, we need to go up and focus on the task at hand and all of the coleus and such that we have to plant. All right, guys, it's a little bit later in the day. I decided to wait until the whole circle area was in the shade because I do think it's easier to see detail on the plants when it's not dappled light or half in sun and half in shade. Plus, it's very pleasant out here. We're getting ready for a cold front this weekend. One of the days is supposed to be in the high 60s for our high, which is very welcome toward the end of June. So weird. So what I'm gonna do is just lay everything out, and then we'll get to planting. Now this is a 10-foot diameter circle because we figured that we would be going with a 6 to 8 foot basin on a fountain, and that would give us 1 to 2 feet to plant around it still. Just a small little bit of annuals probably. There's cheddar, and here is our first plant placement. 3 of those in the center, and we'll surround it with everything else. So here we go. right, guys, we're almost out of light for the evening, but we got it done and it looks really pretty. Now I did have to steal a couple of the coconut nemesia from other containers in order to make this happen because we're getting toward that time of the year where it's a little bit harder to find, you know, a bunch of one thing to make a big impact somewhere. So I stole one of them from our hay rack project because I planted 7 in one of those 36-inch hay racks. So I just popped one out and repositioned the other 6 and it still looks really full. And then I stole one from one of those aquapot lights. We put one in with a Cherry Burst Superbena and a Supertunia Bermuda Beach improved. So I just popped in a double white Super Bells in with that one and it looks great. And that allowed me to have enough to ring all the way around this circle. So we've got the 3 king tuts in the center, which I do think once they reach height, I'm gonna have to shave this up a little bit. And honestly, like we need to take that branch up because I think that one is maybe short enough to where I hit it when I walk. Let's test it. Yeah. So if I hit it when I walk, Aaron will definitely hit it when he walks. So we'll trim up a little bit of this probably tomorrow. It's kind of a menagerie, but I think once everything grows up and fills in, it's gonna be just a big poof of really pretty things. My hands are all dark from the compost. We went out to our compost pile and Aaron loaded up the gator so that I could get this mulched. It really does improve the look of the whole thing. But I ended up using 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 of the Wicked Witch, 2, 4, 6 of the Lime Thyme, 7 of the Surefire Rose Begonias, and 14 of the Coconut Nemesia. Here's a look from this side. It'll just be so fun to have something in here, not just an open pit of soil and gravel, you know. And we are really close to being able to start working on this area, and we'll have that all lined with boxwoods and all, you know, top dressed with compost. It'll look so nice. So anyway, you guys, that is going to do it for today's project. Really happy to have this here. So fun. Aaron says it has kind of a Mackinac feeling, like the whole layout of this bed. So that's kind of fun. I'm excited to see how it looks when it grows up a little bit. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it and we will see you in the next one. And also thank you, Monrovia, for sending out that load of plants. Such a fun delivery today. See you guys in the next video. Bye.